I'll be honest, this is my 5th time trying to record this, and this is the last time I'm going to. I'm not redoing it again. Here we go. Hi everyone, today we're going to be working on using supporting details in a text to look at theme. So for the first thing we're going to be doing today, we're going to look and go over some key vocabulary in the lesson. We're going to move to doing some modeling, and I'm going to show you how we're going to be doing this lesson, what's going to be in the lesson, and when we're going to be doing it. After I do some modeling and we go over it, we're going to move to doing some partner practice, where you're going to work with your partner to fill out the theme worksheet. And then after that, we will go into our independent practice and work on our own and then get some time to go over this lesson. So some key vocabulary I think we should all have are shown here. First, let's go over the word theme or main idea, which is in the top left. Has anybody ever heard of theme or the main idea? I'm hearing a lot of good answers. Theme is the underlying message or what an author wanted the reader to learn. So now that I say that, do you think that there are some books that you could remember some themes of? Some messages that you think that author would have wanted you to learn? Yeah, all good answers. What about summary? Has anybody ever heard of summary before? What if I asked you to summarize something you had just read in the book? Okay, so we've heard the word summarize. A summary is a short statement about the main points of a text, and the main points of a text can also be that theme. So when we think about summary, when we ask someone to summarize a text or tell us about the text, we don't want to know the little things. We don't want to know like what the color of the main character's hair is. We don't need to know that stuff. We want to see the big picture. We want to see what is actually happening in the book and why. And that is what we are talking about when we are talking about summary. Some other words we are going to want to look at for this lesson are going to be identify and supporting details. To identify is to find or indicate in the text. So when I ask you to identify something, I want you to be able to prove your answer. So when we're looking at a text, we can identify something by highlighting it or underlining it and saying, this is where I got my answer. Supporting details are the information that provide clarity or prove that theme in the text. So when we are looking for the theme in a text, we're going to use supporting details to prove our point with help from that word identify to show our explanation. Now I want to show you how I would do this if I were doing the same lesson that you guys are going to be doing later. I'm going to read a blurb, which is the back of the book, from the book Wish by Barbara O'Connor. After I read this once, I'm going to look at the side, and this is going to be my worksheet for today. And I'm going to think about what could be the theme, what could be 2 details that help me support that theme. And then I'm going to read it a second time in my head. So first I'm going to read it aloud. 11-year-old Charlie Reese has been making the same secret wish every day since the 4th grade. She even has a list of all the ways there are to make such a wish, such as cutting off the pointed end of a slice of pie and wishing on it as she takes the last bite. But when she is sent to the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina to live with family she barely knows, it seems unlikely that her wish will ever come true. That is, until she meets Wishbone, a skinny stray dog who captures her heart, and Howard, a neighbor boy who proves surprising in lots of ways. Suddenly, Charlie is in serious danger of discovering that what she thought she wanted may not be what she needs at all. Okay, so now that I've read that, I want to think about theme. What's the big picture of what I just read right there? And then I want to read again and think about what are some details in that that I just read that would help me prove that theme. Now, I'm going to read this a second time, and I hope everybody reads it along with me, but I'm going to read it in my head this time. Okay, now that I've read this a second time, I want to think about what the theme of this blurb could be. I'm thinking that the theme of this could be something about maybe dogs, maybe a wish. It says something about hope, how she keeps making this wish over and over. That makes me think that the theme of this could be hope. I'm thinking that this could be true because the first sentence in this paragraph talks about how Charlie's been making the same secret wish every day for the 4th grade. Someone who makes that wish a lot has got to have some hope for something. So that's going to be my first supporting detail. It's going to be the first sentence of this blurb. And I'm going to underline it right there. My second detail could be, I'm thinking about hope. My second detail could be the last sentence in the paragraph, because it talks about that maybe what she was hoping for all the time is going to change. So that's going to be my second supporting detail. Does everybody see how you're going to use the paragraph to highlight 2 key details to support your theme? Awesome. So here we have the theme worksheet, which is what we're going to be using. And it's kind of like what I just did with the PowerPoint. The only thing we are going to be adding to this is going to be your explanation point. And with you guys, I just explained with my words what I was doing, but I want everybody to be able to explain in writing their thoughts throughout making their decisions for theme and the 2 details. Now it's going to be time for partner practice. With a partner, you are now going to use that same theme worksheet to identify the theme and supporting details and explanation of the book, The Bad Seed. You're going to do the same thing that we did together using the worksheet, and I want you to read it first to just get the whole sense of what it says. And then I want you to think about those 3 things we're going to be looking at: the theme, details, and explanation. After you've gone over those and thought about it after that first read, I want the other partner to have a turn reading. So each of you are going to get a turn to read. One of you is going to read the first time, one of you is going to read the second time. Once you've reread the book, you can move towards working on the worksheet together. I'll be walking around and making sure nobody's feeling stuck or frustrated and helping everybody out. Once we're almost done with reading and doing our worksheet, I'll give everybody about a 5-minute warning and we'll come back and discuss all of this together. Does that sound good? Awesome. Thank you, everybody.